Hello, this is Organization with Olu. Today I'm going to show you how you can score an A star in economics simply by not being an armchair economist. Okay? Stick around. I think you're going to like what I've got for you. Right now, what I'm going to do is share my screen. Hi, guys. I'm sure what you're going to be asking is what on earth is an armchair economist? An armchair economist is a student that just simply reads textbooks, just textbooks, and doesn't apply the knowledge that you've gained from the textbooks into the real world. It's all about doing that, guys. It's all about doing that. You have to apply it. Now, hopefully, some of you would have realized that there was an autumn budget. If you don't, then that's a point where you need to start from. You need to be aware of what is going on around you. Now, this what we're going to do. We're just going to go through five key. Well, I'm going to go through one key point. Literally, this video is about five key points. It's a video you're going to watch at some stage. But let's just focus on the national living wage, just in case you don't know what the national living wage is for people over 23. If you're under 23, you get the national minimum wage. If you're 23 and above, you get what you call the national living wage. Okay, so let's just listen to what the Chancellor of the Exchequer talked about in terms of the national living wage. Let's go back to 34 seconds here. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Is a Conservative government that is increasing the wage law again today. The Independent Pay Commission brings together economists, business groups, and trade unions. The government is accepting their recommendation to increase the national living wage next year by 6.6% to £9.50 an hour. For a full-time worker, that's a pay rise worth over £8,000. It will benefit over 2 million of the lowest paid workers in the country. It's broadly consistent with previous increases and keeps us on track for our target of two-thirds of median earnings by 2024. And it is a major commitment to the high-wage, high-skill, high-productivity economy of the future.
Okay, guys, hopefully you've heard that the Chancellor of the Exchequer is increasing the national living wage. Now, these are some facts here, okay, which you need to go through, okay? There's a rise of 6.6%. Go through these facts. The question we want to read, we want to start applying what we've learned in the textbook or what we should have learned and what we are learning every day and apply it to the real world. Otherwise, you might as well just be reading textbooks based, textbooks that was, written in the 1950s. If you're not going to apply to the real world, you might as well just read textbooks from the 1950s, guys. Okay, so let's have a look at the economic theory regarding this particular thing about wages, increasing wages. National minimum wage or national living wage, they do it's pretty much the same thing. It's the same thing. So let's look at the economics behind this. Now, the economic theory, it's all about demand and supply. Okay. Now, I'm going to illustrate it by this diagram. So in this diagram, I've replaced price with wages, okay? Because price is the price of wages, okay? So you replace the price with wages. So it's literally the price of wages, okay? And this is the demand sloping downwards. We're not going to go into that. You should know that. If you don't know that, you will at some point will understand why that's so. But it slopes downwards. So let's think. So £9, the quantity that would be demanded would be Q1. If the wage was to drop to £6, there'll be more workers demanded at Q2. Obviously, if it's £4, there'll be a lot more workers demanded, which will be demanded at Q3. The assumption here is that all the workers are going to do the same job, same quality, same everything. And what it shows is that if the price goes up, the price of wages goes up, the demand for labor tends to fall. That's the economic theory. However, you've had mixed results all around the world. There's been mixed results. Okay, so that makes it really interesting in terms of what would potentially happen. Okay, so that's what I want you to think about. Now, the next video we're going to go on quickly is a video from The Economist. Is the minimum wage does it hurt workers? And then we're just going to quickly watch this very, very quickly. We're going to go to 7 minutes 56 seconds. Let's just go here. 7 minutes 56. Yeah, just go to here.
Different types of data and keep examining the evidence of the impact these policies are having.
And in America, the opportunity for another experiment could be just around the corner. this time on a national scale.
I'm Joe Biden. It's time we had a $15 an hour minimum wage so families can earn a living and get ahead. As president, I'll make sure we get it done.
Raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour isn't just about economics, this is about politics. This is a partisan dividing line, and they struggle to push this through the system.
It would take America's economy into uncharted waters, and some economists still fear it is too high for firms to handle and could lead to job losses.
If Joe Biden does manage to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour, that will obviously be a big historical moment. But I'm afraid economists and politicians will likely be arguing about the impact of years to come.
Okay, so that's the idea. Joe Biden has promised to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Okay, so I've got some questions on these things that I want you to have a look at and answer. Try and answer these questions. It's all about applying what you've read in the textbooks to real life economics. Economics is a live subject. And that's what makes it such a lovely subject. Everything changes. It changes daily. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is calculate the median salary goal, okay, in 2024 for the national living wage. What did the Chancellor of the Exchequer say the goal was for the median salary, okay, in 2024? So I want you to calculate the actual salary, okay? Very easy calculation, okay? The next one I want you to do, explain what it means that the new living wage will keep pace with inflation, okay? The new living wage is going to go up by about 6 point something percent. What does it mean by that it will keep pace with inflation? Explain that, okay? The next one is summarize briefly 5 key points of the budget, okay? So watch that video. I'm going to try and put the link in my video. Click on it, watch the video. It's very, very short. Just talk. There's a lot of things in the budget, but just focus on 5 things and briefly summarize briefly in a couple of paragraphs, just for you to be familiar with the budget. Guys, if you're an economics student, you must be familiar with the budget. You must be. It's just basic. It's basic, guys. Okay. The next one I want you to do is that in the case of the US, why do you think some economists think that a minimum wage of $15 an hour may be problematic for some US firms? If you raise it to $15 an hour, why might that be problematic for some US firms? Okay. Now I want you to draw a macro diagram. So I want us to focus on lots of firms, not just one. We're not focusing on one firm. So I want you to illustrate this with an appropriate macro diagram. Okay. $15 an hour might be a problem. Why might it be a problem? Okay. You show that on a macro diagram. So guys, I want you to have a go with all these things and try. And the idea really is, if you want to get an A star, an A to A star, you have to be applying. And not only will it help you, it reinforces your learning. If you can take the stuff you've learned and apply it to real life, it's going to benefit you. And I promise you, your grades are going to go right up. Okay. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to do a lot more of these videos and show you how you can really utilize the knowledge and apply it to the real world. Okay. So please like, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.